strike say they're left with questions after 2 survivors were killed. And of course, I do want to mention that that video has not been made public yet. However, President Trump says he is open to doing that. Now, Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley appeared for a series of closed-door classified briefings at the Capitol as lawmakers conduct an investigation after a report that he ordered the follow-up attack that killed the survivors to comply with Hegseth's demands. A lot to this here, so I do want to bring in retired U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Bob Moret, professor of practice at Syracuse University. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and help discuss this further.
Thanks, Josh. Good to be back with you again.
And first off, I did want to start by asking you kind of an overall question here. As you take a look at the situation that played out there, what is the role of that admiral in deciding exactly what to do here? And is he essentially supposed to do whatever Hegseth wants him to do?
Yeah, Josh, great question. It has to do with the delegated authority that any Secretary of Defense has to do for any operational commander at different levels. During the time that Admiral Bradley was doing that, he was actually in his previous job as the commander of the Joint Special Operations Command, JSOC, before he became the overall 4-star commander of SOCOM, which he is today. And authority was delegated down to him, which is not unusual for operations consistent with the rules of engagement, which a theme we'll probably come back to. And, that kind of operational decision-making goes all the way down to infantrymen and captains of ships and people in Air Force cockpits. So it's not unusual that you would delegate that authority down to some other individual.
And I was going to say, regardless of who actually makes the call, does the decision ultimately kind of fall on Hegseth as the defense secretary, secretary of war, whatever you want to call him, in that position?
Yeah, Josh, we call it the National Command Authority, which are the President and the Secretary of Defense, are ultimately responsible by any activity by the U.S. Armed Forces. Now, having said that, every President, every Secretary of Defense delegates authority for lethal operations down to pretty low levels, down to, privates and infantrymen, and as I said, different kinds of people. So the fact that this was delegated down to a subordinate level, which was actually fairly senior, Admiral Bradley was a 3-star at the time the September 2nd activity took place, is not unusual at all. Those are the kind of things that happen all the time.
And of course, we're looking at some of the video there that has been unclassified. We also know that President Trump has said that other video that shows that second strike could be unclassified at some point. Now, what are the primary objectives, would you say, of Operation Southern Spear beyond the strike that everyone kind of has been talking about there in early September?
Yeah, a great question, Josh. I think Operation Southern Spear, if you want to look at it, can be divided into 2 different mission sets. One is the counter-narcotics operation.
You just feel like you're watching regular people like me and you just on there and just talking.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, the freezing cold is sticking around, and now snow is on the radar this weekend. Let's get right over to Weather Authority Rich Luterman for the latest. Hey, Rich.
Hey there, Jess. Yeah, we're going to get a little snow Sunday. There's a weak system passing to our north right now, so just a few flurries out there. There is snow right now at the Mackinac Briggs. Those are live pictures, 27 degrees, but we are not as cold now as what we were last night and early this morning. A lot of us this morning started out in single-digit territory. 5 degrees was the official morning low. Right now, a lot of us in the mid-20s. There is a breeze from the south and southwest, producing wind chills for a lot of us in the middle teens. But the coldest of the air has retreated back into eastern Canada. There goes system number 1. It's very weak tonight. And then here comes our Sunday system, also very weak, bringing perhaps an inch of snow. Brisk and cold tonight, down to 20. We're up to 20. Make that 34 tomorrow. And here it is, the 7-day forecast. A better chance for wintry weather Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week, Jess. A full check tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rich. Doctors at Detroit Medical Center sounding the alarm after seeing an uptick in flu cases. Now they're getting ready to start new restrictions for hospital visitors. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards talks with doctors about what you need to know.
The guidelines don't go into effect until Monday, December 8th, but the doctors at Detroit Medical Center behind me here say that they just want to get the word out now that getting into their actual facility is going to look a little different. Let's get into these guidelines. Now, the Detroit Medical Center and Children's Hospital of Michigan say the guidelines go as follow. All patients are limited to 2 visitors at any one time. Visitors under 12 years old, including siblings and relatives, not allowed on inpatient floors and observation units, and visitors 13 years and older who are battling fever, cough, and a rash will be asked to choose another time to visit. Now, there are others, and DMC doctors say they're putting these guidelines in place to protect their patients mainly, saying 3 or 4 weeks ago they saw case positivity at 2%, but just last week it rose to 20%.
This time, I should say that this is like an early flu season. I have to say it's an early flu season. We are seeing higher rates very early on, even before the holidays. So the hope is that more people can get vaccinated and protect themselves, and we don't see a very prolonged flu season. But usually it's end of March or early April when we stop these guidelines.
This is the time to get your flu shot. Please protect yourself and our community and your friends and family by getting your flu shot, because the flu is here.
Now, again, the guidelines don't go into effect until Monday, and to get a good look at all of them, you could head to fox2detroit.com. I'm Lauren Edwards reporting in Detroit on The Edge.
A St. Clair Shores man accused of threatening to shoot up his school now behind bars. Macomb County prosecutors say 20-year-old Joel Edwards had guns and posted videos on TikTok about wanting to carry out a mass shooting at a school. Investigators are not saying which school could have been targeted. This allegedly happened back in September, but Edwards has just been charged because the case was moving through the system. The judge referred him for a mental health evaluation.
Based upon the initial investigation, we had actually located about 5 Molotov cocktails on site, some unexploded, some exploded, multiple fires set in the roadway.
A Mount Pleasant man is facing serious charges, accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at a home in Brighton Township. Police say Alex Biuli-Numar was targeting an underage girl who he met online. She tried to cut him off, but he allegedly had a burning desire to stalk and harass her, which blew up in his face, leading to his arrest.
She'd been communicating with him for quite some time over Snapchat and text message, where it got into the sexual realm, and then when she cut off communication with this individual, that's when the threatening messages started. Parents need to look at their children's social media accounts. This communication went several months of unchecked communication over Snapchat, where it could have been headed off potentially a lot sooner.
Nobody was hurt thanks to quick-thinking neighbors who put out that fire. The suspect is being held on a $1 million bond. Victory for MSU. A businessman and his wife are donating more than $400 million to the school. This is part of the athletic department's campaign to raise $1 billion, known as the For Sparta initiative. The big donation coming from Acrisure CEO Greg Williams and his wife Dawn. Acrisure is a financial technology and insurance company based in Grand Rapids. Now, $290 million will go to Spartan Athletics, another $100 million for Spartan Ventures. The organization used for NIL deals, basically to pay athletes to come to MSU.
Think about MSU, the leadership, the friendship, and what that all represents to us. That's the reason why.
It's hard to comprehend the magnitude of his generosity, and yet I'm not at all surprised. That's just who they are.
The donation, by far the largest ever to the university. And a huge win last night for the Detroit Lions, but it does come at a cost. The Lions are sending best wishes to safety Brian Branch, who was injured in the game and is now out for the season. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin tells us what the safety's recovery could look like.
This game had many critical moments, but Lions fans watching in shock as this major injury took place. Multiple reports say Lions safety Brian Branch tore his Achilles in the fourth quarter of Thursday's game. The severity of it was not known until further testing was done. The frightening injury coming after a huge victory for the Pride, the Lions defeating Dallas 44-30. We spoke with former Lions team chiropractor Saul Kogan about why recovery time is often different and varies from player to player.
You know, most people are 9 to 12 months. I've seen some athletes get back in 6 because, you know, the quality of the care they're getting and the attention they have. But it's a big injury. I mean, it's always a season ending. And in his case, it could potentially even go into next season. Well, I was with the Lions for 14 years. I'm not with them now, so I'm not part of his care. But they have top-notch care. They do a great job. And I would expect to see him sometime next season.
And, of course, our Fox 2 Sports team will keep you updated on Branch's condition and any moves the Lions make between now and their next game. At Ford Field, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Meanwhile, another Detroit Lion making sure local kids stay warm this winter. Today, Jameson Williams teamed up with Comerica Bank, giving away about 250 coats to students with Driven by Growth Detroit. Comerica also presenting DBG with a $10,000 check as part of the Lions' My Cause, My Cleats initiative. The money will go towards workforce development, college and career readiness, and STEM lab programs.
Really nice coats. The kids, I think, are really loving, yes, the coats, but more so just spending time with Jameson and having him here with the kids and spending some time to throw a ball around.
My main thing is just to spread love everywhere and, you know, just show kids, give kids a face and a factor, you know, that you could be in this position, in these shoes one day.
Williams also runs the Jameson Williams Foundation with his family with a mission to give back to youth sports and those in need.
Everyone supporting the room. I want to reveal that this is one of the largest individual fundraisers in GoFundMe history. And yeah, if you want, you will be able to retire because we've raised you $1.77 million.
A local veteran overcome with emotions as he gets handed a life-changing check. Ed Bombas was shocked to find out that a GoFundMe raised more than $1 million in a little more than a week. The 88-year-old had been working at Meyer in Brighton on Grand River, working to earn more money after caring for his sick wife who died 7 years ago. Millions of people heard about his heartbreaking story through a social media influencer's TikTok post and decided to donate. But they likely wouldn't have ever known if it wasn't for one local Meyer shopper who commented on the social media influencer's page.
I'm so emotional over it. I'm so happy for him. He deserves it. He earned it. Yeah, I said his name was Bob. Literally, I've been calling him Bob for the last 5 years. He never corrected me.
I received that comment on Facebook, and I just felt like it was God, to be honest. Like, I didn't know anything about his story, and I just approached him, and out of the blue, a miracle happened, you know? Like, how does that happen?
It's crazy, like, how it just went viral, like, worldwide viral. I've never seen anything like that, and I've never seen a GoFundMe that high, ever. So it was just like, whoa, I started that? What?
I am totally surprised. I cannot express in any words how thankful I am to all the people.
And if you could send one message to your wife, what would it be?
Thank you, honey.
Ed says he's not done at Meyer just yet. He still plans to work at least another month. Coming up, medical researchers say a strange sickness connected to cannabis is picking up steam. Why they're calling it scromiting. That's still ahead on The Edge.